All right, wonderful people, welcome back to this wonderful channel where we bring you back to back update and information as see the hot. In case you have not joined our social media handle, what are you waiting for? Kindly go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, share, and also remember to on your notification button so that whenever our news drop, you go be the first. We'll collect them. All right, as it be, you know, as it is. You are all welcome to this wonderful channel. In case you want to support us here, kindly go ahead and give us a super thanks. Just check how you can do YouTube super thanks. You can send us a super thanks, and we'll know that we are with you. Maka na ndị band sịkwa n'ogbu ọpịa ya bụ onye na-efichekwa n'ime na bụ onye na-egbu opi na ọ na-efichi ime ekene m unu iya. Alright, welcome back. In the homeland, the land of Umuchukwu Kabiama, the land of that is flowing with milk and honey. The enemies are trying, but the Lord Almighty is suddenly behind his prince. I'll call him a prince because he's a prince. Mazi Simon Ekpa Manjoko, a man blessed of the Lord. Because God is the one who speaks for his people, and the people are the servants of God, Almighty Chukwu Kabiama. Every Biafran knows that, yes, the Biafran were a tradition, yes, but we worship Chukwu Kabiama. Every way people do their worship, all we know is that the origin of Ndibo themselves worship Chukwu Kabiama. Of course, you know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu knows. He always say it. That Chukwu Kabiama is his strength, and you know that the enemy thought that what they did to Kanu, what they did to Ekpa, and what is happening now, you know, between Ngozi Orabeze and Sonia Barawa, is the enemy is just bringing confusion. But we know that in the future time, these two people will still reconcile because Biafra is one big family that is not divided. Yes. I know that a time will come, everybody will still understand. That is the land of Biafra. We are prosperous people. The Biafran people are very prosperous because go and check history. They dominated the higher echelons of power before the 1967 to 1970 Biafra Civil War after the pogrom. Of course, you know what brought about the pogrom when the plot, the coup that was plotted then by an Igbo officer known as Kaduna Nzogo, which took the Yoruba soldiers and the Hausa soldiers. But when the Hausas and the Yorubas looked, they found out that no Igbo soldier died in that coup. Later on, the Igbos never knew that these people were planning for a counter coup when the soldiers gathered and called General Agu Ironsi to become the successor. He became the then head of state, and the Igbo and the Hausa Fulanis, the Yorubas and other tribes planned, and that was when they had a counter coup because these people felt that it's time to retaliate. And after that counter coup, that was what brought in the pogrom. Of course, you remember the pogrom, Osa Abiola, the pogrom that happened, and the Igbos happened. All these things are histories. You cannot overlook them. They are histories, they are there. It's not as if I'm the one that is saying it, but these things are written. We know them. And if you are studying the histories of of the nation called NIG, you will find all these things precept by precept, line upon line there. You find the dates. And after that, Odumegwu Ojukwu, who was then the head of the governor of the Eastern Protectorate, or the Eastern region, he was the governor of the Eastern region, declared Biafra. That was 1967. And it started, it boomed. People like Chinua Achebe was one of the emissaries that we are moving about, going for the Biafrans, doing research, meeting other countries and a lot of countries all over the world, trying to liaise with them, telling them, letting them to understand what they are about to gain if this country called Biafra should emerge. But of course, you know that Nigeria's mother country is a mighty country. It's one of the Eurocos in the United Nations. Of course, if you're a student of history, you will know that Nigeria itself as a country has a mother country, the colonial country. That is one of the bourgeois. When it comes to the world political table, they are the bourgeois there. And everything happened because when you are fighting with a Bushia without having a particular good allies that could support you, the olden days people, in the history of war, the Ethiopians, the Greeks, and other ancient kingdoms, a lot of kingdoms, the Egyptians that fought then, if you know that you are not going to win this war, what you do is create an ally. And I will tell you that the Prime Minister of the Biafran Republic government in exile, Master Simon Ekpa Nwanjoku, is a man who understood these principles. You can see the cohabitation, the allies between the Biafrans and the Amazonians, the Biafrans and the US, Washington DC, where the Prime Minister met a lot of people trying to establish a relationship to let these people know that there is a country called Biafra. If you don't know why a lot of people want Simon Ekpa's mouth to be shut up, wants to shut his mouth, wants to take him out of the strain of power, you would understand that what is happening is that they have seen his potential and they have seen the future. These people, leaders, there is what is called focus. It's not really like something that is diabolical or maybe conjoined, but focus is looking at history and taking time to study a mass movement. And this is what some philosophers studied, and they get to find out that the man Ekpa is a man who has a great future, and a lot of people are fighting to make sure that they shut his mouth, because if they knew that if Ekpa is left, that is a time bomb. When I mean a time bomb, it's a bomb that will explode at a particular time, because he has laid the foundation. He took a lot of people unawares, even a lot of nations, because they thought it's just maybe a mere social media talk where you see all these babbling talks and all that. But Ekpa went beyond their expectations. He went beyond their expectation. How? Let me explain. People were waiting for him to be maybe coming for a riot, carrying a placard, trying all those olden patterns. He said no. He took his step. The step he took is he created a Biafra Republic government in exile. And as he created this government, he gave a date of declaration of the referendum. And before then, he started making allies, creating allies with a lot of countries, enlightening lots of countries in Europe, in Africa, in Asia. He started sending emissaries who will enlighten these people. This is the mistake Ojukwu made, because the Ojukwu's liaison was during the war. He never calculated his steps. But if you watch Master Simon Ekpa's steps, you find that Simon Ekpa have read Ojukwu's history and saw where he made mistakes. Because some of the liaison that Ojukwu made with other countries and the rest of them during that 3 years was inside the war, within the war. And because of war, you find out that you are there to make a critical decision. There were a lot of, even the Geneva conference that decided on this thing. There was the time of Geneva conference when in Geneva they decided that let them make the country called Nigeria a Confederal state. That was what was agreed in Geneva. And if the government of Gowon agreed what was discussed in Geneva, what could have happened is that Nigeria will become a Confederal state just like Gambia, and secession becomes easy. And in a Confederal state, if it's divided into 3 divisions, like Nigeria was divided then, you have the northern region, you have the eastern region, and the western region. These were 2 parts, 3 divisions of the country. So we find that each of these divisions or each of these regions will sponsor their government. It's just that they meet at the central government, but they sponsor their infrastructure development, their human capital development, and whatever development that comes there, paying of salary to their workers and the rest of them. The onus lies on them as a confederal government or as a region, because the government is confederal. What is binding the government is the center of it. But if it is a confederal state, they are separate states. They are separate government that represent themselves. It's just that something is binding them because they are a nation. But in that nation, they are confederal. That was what was agreed in Geneva, but it was not implemented. And before Ojukwu himself declared the Biafra Republic, he has not gotten a lot of allies, supporters. His step was very, very okay, but it was not that calculated because he thought that if he goes home and declares that it was going to be easy, but he never knew that the other people, he thought that it's just, since the amalgamation has come, it was amalgamated. These people were not together before. That is Ojukwu's reason. Before the amalgamation, it was the Eastern Protectorate, Northern Protectorate, and the rest of them. That was how it is. It was a protectorate, of which you know the history, that when the white man went to the Yorubas, the Obas were there already. The Obas were there. And when they went to the Northerns, the Northerners had already had the colonization of the Fulanese. The son by Usman Danfodio and his brother and his son Bello. They have already colonized the war that took over Yoruba, took over the northern part, installed the rule of emirates. Because before then, the Hausas never knew what is called emirates. But when the Usman Danfodio arrived, he installed what is called emirate, and that is why if you go to Kanus and a lot of places, you see the emirs of those places. It is because Danfodio and his brother and his son came and conquered the place first, even before the coming of the white man. When the white man came, Danfodio and his family were already the rulers of the northern part. That is why if you look at the Nigeria political structure, the Nigeria political, if you weigh it, you find out that if you go to the northern part, the bourgeois at the northern part are the Fulanese. Before then, all these things have been before the coming of the white man. Even the Portuguese came first. After the Portuguese came, they left before the Westerners came. Even that was after the slave trade. The white man never had any interest. But interest he had, it was that, the other Westerners, Americans started developing. And then we are looking for ways. Who is going to? They were needed workers, to work in their companies, in their factories. And they found out that Africa is a big place where they can harvest all these things. The histories are there. If you go to places like Arondi Zog and the rest of them, you will see where all these things happen. You see the road, you see the maps. And the white man came, he bought the people. Later on, there was what is called the Industrial Revolution. When Industrial Revolution, after the Industrial Revolution, there was a technology revolution, machine revolution, because it was during the Industrial Revolution that they came for slaves. But after there was what is called the machine revolution. These people knew that much slave will not be needed. They declared no more the selling of slaves. And that was when the colonization started. That was around that time. All right, I will complete this history on the next episode of this podcast and broadcast. And if this is your first time of joining us, kindly go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, share, and also remember to on your notification button so that whenever our news drop, you will be the first who will collect them. In case you want to support this channel, just go ahead and give us a super chat. If you don't know how to do it, just go to your Google, browse how to send a super chat to a YouTube channel. Thank you for listening. God bless you.